Okay, I'd just like to give you some reflections this morning on my time working with Satish and Raju at Nimble Foundation. I've been coming here now probably about 6 months or so, and it all started one morning when I was reading the newspaper and picked up in a small advertisement the names of Nimble Foundation and voice coaching. So I thought I'll give a call and see what this is about. Satish answered and he invited me to come and join him one evening the following week. So I came along and we had a one-to-one session, which was a fabulous session. I have to say, very interesting indeed. Satish gave me a background about the program that he runs, told me a bit about public speaking, the speech organs, and some of the technical parts of speaking. And then invited me to join follow-on group sessions, series of group sessions, to put into practice some of the things that we talked about. Also, at the end of that individual session, we developed some personal objectives for me, which I found very useful. So the next Sunday morning I came along and joined one of the group sessions, which was for a couple of hours, and we stepped through some set pieces, some exercises of speaking, repetition of written texts, but we're all focused on controlling your speech, your breathing, and expanding the use of speech organs. So this was the first part of the group sessions, and then the second part of the group sessions, on each occasion there would be a topic which was introduced, the group would discuss the topic, and then each individual would give back their reflections and their perspectives on what was the topic of the day. And these sessions were very interesting. Everybody, I found, was very forthcoming with their perspectives, and I learned quite a lot about India, Indian people, and the differences between the Western culture and the Indian culture. And I really enjoyed those sessions. Some fantastic input from all the people I met. So I joined those sessions and we did those for a couple of months. And then latterly, I realised that the objectives in the group sessions were not always very focused on my personal objectives, or perhaps what had happened is that I'd taken from those sessions what I could and then found I wanted to focus back on some other aspects. So I had a chat again with Satish and we agreed that I would come along then for some one-to-one sessions. And I've been doing that now for the past couple of months. And in these sessions, again, it's been slightly more personally focused for me, and I would sort of say that we've really broken down into two areas. One has been some set-piece speeches from Shakespeare and Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, and we've been doing those as a vehicle to develop my speaking techniques, to stretch my techniques in different directions, so that subsequently when I come to speak generally, I've got a better appreciation of what's the range I can employ, and I found that very good and actually very enjoyable. I come from Stratford-upon-Avon, and that's my home, so Shakespeare is dear to my heart, and it's been great to learn some of his speeches as a side for me personally. The second part then of the individual sessions has been working on impromptu speeches, and that's been very enjoyable. We've had a review this morning and taken a step back again and reflected and said, okay, so where are we now, and what should we do going forward? And we've decided that my objectives going forward are three very clear areas. With respect to the voice itself, I'd like to sort of broaden the depth and the range of tone in my voice. With sort of speaking as speeches, I want to concentrate on impromptu speeches, make them compelling, interesting for other people, and stimulate sort of conversation from there. And then finally, just some sort of networking skills, general conversation skills. So those three areas is what we'll look at going forward. Now, just to finish, I'd just like to bring in one small anecdote of my time here in India, and it's interesting. It's about sort of speech and communication, and it was when I was staying in Jaisalmer, one of the very interesting places in Rajasthan, in a 5-star hotel. I went down for breakfast one morning. The waiter said to me, "Sir, can I get you a tea or a coffee?" And I said, "Yes, please. I'd like a cup of chamomile tea." And he said to me, "Oh, sorry, sir, camels don't make tea. They make milk." and that was great for me. And I take that one away, and I often relate it back to my friends and family, and we have a chuckle. And I also think that probably he does the same on his side, because he's probably thinking, this ignorant foreigner, who comes along, stays at the 5-star hotel and doesn't even know the difference between, the produce of a camel. So I've had a great time here, and I look forward to more good times going forward.
Good.